All right, y'all. Today we're going to look at this boudoir photography business, see if they have BSS with their local or their city Google search here in Vacaville, California. And we're back in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that in the pin post or whatever, the main post of this profile. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. It means we're missing out on the highest, somewhere along this intent capture curve, we're missing out on the highest intent people, the lowest intent people somewhere. Usually it's the highest intent people. So over on the left, we're focusing on the highest intent people. If we're missing them, it means normally we've got BSS, boudoir search sameness. Over on the right, BLCS, that is our sister brand of Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. Right now for a boudoir photographer spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. But BSS here, we're focusing on highest intent people searching for a boudoir photo shoot right now on social search and Google search. So the highest intent peeps. Now, boudoir search sameness is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots, terrible on page 1 because we know that approximately 80% of all Google searches never go to page 2. So we care about that 80%. That's the bulk, which means we definitely got to be page 1, and then we got to maximize ourselves being on page 1. And 1 slot on page 1 Google is not good enough because everyone else on there has got 1 slot as well. So we're looking the same as everyone else. We're essentially still invisible. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's extremely common, but it is not normal. We actually need to have 3 out of 10 on page 1 of Google at a minimum. That's the GBC minimum we shoot for here at the local search and the city search levels. So 0 1 slots on page 1 is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which basically everyone knows about. And the second, the false belief of page 1 equality. This second part, the false belief of page 1 equality, from what I've seen, is the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. So market saturation, that means, more boudoir photographers entering the market, seems like every day. Every time someone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, throwing up their website. If they get a camera, they're posting in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. And what does that do? That gunks up page 1 of Google search. And when that happens, then when that gets gunked up, we get pushed down to only 1 slot on page 1, or we get pushed off all the way to page 2. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality is the biggest killer because everyone believes that it's normal. Hey, I had 1 slot on page 1. Yeah, more boudoir photographers entered the market. Now I'm on page 2. I got my 1 slot on page 2. That's it. And that's simply how it goes. But no, that's a false belief because I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in 10 days using the solution I'm going to show today. And it's a false belief because it's not true, but it's the #1 killer boudoir photography businesses that I've seen because people just kind of relent to the fact that, market got more saturated and, what are you going to do? That's normal. We got pushed off. It is what it is. And now we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Either disappearing because they got 1 link, same as everyone else, so they kind of become invisible, boudoir search sameness, or they're kicked off page 1 completely on page 2, and it literally makes them extra invisible. And, disappearing boudoir photographer, that is a precursor to a disappearing boudoir photography business. That's kind of the canary in the coal mine. So we can see our universe taking shape here. A DBP with BSS is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Luckily, we got a solution here though. because BSS is treated with social search saturation. So it's our S-cubed methodology that we invented. And again, I use this to go from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 in 10 days. And this is the only thing I've seen that is able to successfully fight back against market saturation. Here's why. So, A, people have to accept that page 1 equality is a false belief before they even use it. But B, once they use it, let's say we take it to the max, you know, a GBC minimum, we're trying to get 3 out of 10 for local search and then city search using the S-cubed methodology. Well, let's say we take it to the max, and let's say there's a million boudoir photographers in our city, like Cincinnati, and we do S-cubed methodology to the max. So we're literally ranked for the highest intent keywords, the first 300 slots, on Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, YouTube search. That we're the only ones that can be found, and the result of that is we're also the only ones ranked the top 300 searches in Google. 10 organic searches per page times 30 pages. And even if there's a million boudoir photographers in our city, we don't even notice. Our business keeps growing because everyone else has BSS, boudoir search sameness, either 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And no matter where anyone turns, we're basically the only option they can find. So that's why, again, S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that's able to successfully fight back against market saturation. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we now have page 1 visibility. This means we hit our GBC minimum 3 out of the 10 organic slots. Now we're looking way different. Everyone else got 1, maybe one special person's got 2, but we got 3. I mean, we're standing out. People actually see us by the 3rd time they're scrolling down and see our name again. The second bonus is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1. Every extra link we get on page 1 kicks an extra competitor off, kicks them to page 2, effectively making them invisible because we're focusing on the approximately 80% of Google searches that never go past, that never click past and actually go to page 2. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So again, people can actually see us in the search, even though previously we were there with our 1 slot. Now we want to get there for our 3 out of 10 slots. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, which, dude, that's a precursor to anyone buying from us. If we're invisible, no one's buying from us. If we're disappearing, fewer and fewer people are buying from us, but if we're visible. And dude, this is just starting the momentum. We can continue the momentum and take 4 slots on page 1, 5 slots on page 1. Kind of as far as we can push it. It's basically as far as the strategy will take us. This is our full universe here. Declining boudoir photographer or disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the #1 boudoir photography business killer, the false belief of page 1 equality. No. We can have as many slots on Google page 1 as we want to put in the effort to acquire. I've already proven it. We'll see that in the next picture. Do that by utilizing S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. This is the correct track we gotta be on to become the #1 boudoir photographers in our city. So my use using S-cubed methodology, kind of my most recent use, ranking for BLCS Boudoir. So this is for the other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And got an AI overview here. Okay, that's not me yet. Then we got Google Map Pack. Now we're go to the organic. So we got Instagram, Organic 1, Instagram, Organic 2. Then we got Organic 3, me. Organic 4, me. Organic 5, me. Organic 6, me. Organic 7, me. Organic 8, me. Organic 9, not me. Organic 10, me. So I did this in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots. Page 1 of Google in 10 days. And this is all by using the S-cubed methodology. So now main event here, we're going to look at this boudoir photographer, Vacaville, California. Might have to copy this, bring it over if I don't have the tab up. So we're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for their local and city search. Actually, their local and city search is actually the same in this case. All right. There's a Vacaville. All right, so going at the organic. Nope. Nope. Uh, nope. There we go. We got one. And let's see. Nope. 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 All right, so we got 1 out of 10. So, in Vacaville, where is this place? Stockton. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's between San Fran and Sacramento. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 slots for Vacaville, California. So yes, we do have BSS, or this boudoir photography business does have BSS, boudoir search sameness, and we have not met the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google, and that's recommended because, dude, if we're 3 out of 10 local and 3 out of 10 local search, 3 out of 10 city search, page 1, we can basically guarantee we're not disappearing. We're either treading water or we're growing, most likely growing. That's why we want to hit 3 out of 10. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer and you actually want to, so you did local search for yourself, highest intent buyer keywords for boudoir photo shoot in your city, and you saw it, and you did a local search and city search, and either you had BSS, boudoir search sameness, or you simply did not reach the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1 in Google for either one or both of those searches. And you finally see that executed methodology is your one path, your one solution forward out of everything. And you came to that conclusion because you realized, yeah, the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that. It's false. So you broke through. Now you're like, okay, what are the ways I can take as many slots on page 1 on Google as possible? And you realize Google PPC ads ain't going to cut it because they only give you one extra slot, PPC at the top, even if there's 2 slots available. And the momentum dies once you stop paying. With S-cube saturation, there is still momentum. Not infinite momentum, but there's still momentum with the strategy that will, keep the positions for a time. And so you like that. You like that you can get way more slots on page 1 than having, doing Google PPC. And you also understand the market saturation. Yeah, the 2 prongs, someone gets a new phone, iPhone, someone gets a new camera. Yeah. But they see this 3rd prong coming. And the 3rd prong you actually care about is, the 3rd prong you actually care about is the AI taking people's jobs, as people still got to earn money, and everyone's got a smartphone with a great camera on it. It's going to be forcing way more boudoir photographers into the market, or at least way more people into the market to offer boudoir photography. Maybe they're new boudoir photographers. And so you like the initial benefits, getting more slots on Google. You like the initial extra benefit of kicking competitors off page 1 of Google so that they're relegated to page 2, effectively invisible to approximately 80% of Google searches. Makes them disappear. They become a disappearing boudoir photographer, which means in short order their business will be disappearing as well. And you actually want the fortification benefits to prepare for AI bringing more and more boudoir photographers into the marketplace. And when you do that, again, executed methodology is the only solution that allows boudoir photographers to do that. It's kind of like building a levee like New Orleans has, because it's below sea level, so they build a sandbag levee, keep the ocean out. And so you decide you're going to do this for your boudoir photography business. Keep the ocean of supply of boudoir photographers out of your turf, page 1 of Google. So you see, an S cubed methodology is literally the only solution for you. Decide this is what you want to do to move forward with your business, to achieve page one visibility, to become a visible boudoir photographer, to have boudoir search visibility, because you know you need these things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the secret backend benefits of the S-cubed methodology as well that we have not talked about yet. But the first one's being every single day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, what's actually happening is we're building these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, attached to our brand, attached to our website name, kind of our full name, our business name. And these only live in the AI mindshare, kind of the AI brain. And every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, we're actually increasing the probability that we show up as in the premium slot, the one boudoir photographer recommended in the AI overview here at the top of Google search. So that's one extended benefit, or further away benefit. The second further away benefit is, again, where every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, we're increasing the probability all these different AI search options recommend us in their, in AI search. When someone's AI searching for a boudoir photographer in their city, this is ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, and Microsoft Copilot, and Google Gemini. We're increasing the probability we get recommended these every day we do S-cubed methodology because we're building the invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, columns of the Parthenon, building Athens, Greece, or think of it, hub and spoke, building these spokes off our business. And this is like invisible mindshare for AI. And you're also seeing, you decide you're going to be the early adopter, first adopter in your city because A, my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, so you can close out all your competitors from using me by you hopping in with me. And B, that the more you execute daily, we execute daily on S-cubed methodology, that the bigger initial benefits we get instantly, and also the bigger backend momentum AI mindshare benefits we get over time, creating a massive gap between you and all your competitors that they're basically never going to be able to catch up on. And so you decide to be a first mover in your city on that because the converse is if a competitor works with me first, then they're going to be getting all those benefits, initial benefits, kicking you off page one, making you disappear, building up the AI mindshare in the back end. And for you to compete, you would have to rederive S-cubed methodology, which you'll never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly, to use correctly. You will have to then go execute S-cubed methodology equal to us executing every day with your competitor. And again, you'll never be 100% confident. So you probably most likely won't put in the effort to equal us. But even if you do, you equal our effort, okay, you're maintaining the gap that we've already built. So the gap being the same distance. So you'd have to double or triple our effort, our execution, utilizing S-cubed methodology, which I invented, to close the gap on us. Who's got that time? Who's got 80 hours in a day to do all that? So you decide, screw all that. It's better to simply be the first mover in my city. And, let's actually lock this in and start getting these initial benefits and the delayed benefits, the invisible mindshare AI and the AI brain benefits. So that's you. Shoot me a DM. When my DMs open, my DMs are currently not open. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. But if when I do open the DMs, when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM. We will see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.